Hi guys, it's time for reading. Before we start on our new lesson, I just wanted to say how proud I am of you guys for your problem and solution activity from last week. You did a great job. So this week we're going to do something fun. We are going to be making inferences, inferring. So sometimes when you are reading a book, the author doesn't tell you everything. Sometimes you got to kind of figure out what they're trying to say or what something might be in the book that you're reading. That's called making an inference. And believe it or not, we do this all the time when we're reading. So when we make an inference, we use the clues from the text. The text is your book. So the author's going to give you some clues. Plus, you're going to add those clues that the author is giving you to your schema, what you already know about something, to make an inference. I can figure out something that was not explained in the story by using some clues like a detective and the schema that you already have in your brain, what you already know. So we're going to do something fun. Don't tell Evan, but I went through his trash can. Here I have his trash can. He had a couple of things in his trash can, and we're going to work together to make an inference about some things in his trash can. So the first thing, let's see, he had in his trash can had an old Band-Aid wrapper. No Band-Aid wrapper. Band-Aid's not in it, so it was used for something. So here's my clue. My clue is this Band-Aid. I'm going to write that for number one object. Band-Aid. So now, that's my clue, right? My clue. So now I need to use my schema, what I know about Band-Aids, to make an inference. So I know that Band-Aids are used to put over a cut or a scrape when you're bleeding. When you guys come in from recess sometimes, you might have fallen and scraped your knee. We put a Band-Aid on. So my schema is that Band-Aids are used when you get a cut. So the inference I'm going to make, that tells me that Evan got hurt. We just made our first inference. Evan got hurt. Does this Band-Aid have written on it and say Evan got hurt? No, we made an inference. The next thing he has is some hair gel. So that's my object, my next clue from his trash can. So we're going to say hair gel. Okay. So what do I know? What schema do we have on hair gel? I know that hair gel is used for your hair, of course, when you want to fix your hair to make it stay. So the inference we can make is that Evan likes to gel his hair. So we're going to put that for number two. Evan likes, we'll say, to fix his hair. Because when he wakes up in the morning, oh, it's a mess. So he likes to fix his hair. He likes it to be nice and gelled and spiky. Comb to the side. Okay. One more object. My clue is a tiny piece of chalk. Tiny chalk. So let's talk about what we know about chalk. So when you buy chalk, it's a about the size of a marker, right? It's not tiny like this. I want you to think, why would the chalk be so tiny like this? What happened? He used it. That's right. So what inference can we make? We know tiny chalk means it's been used. It tells me, do you think he likes to play with chalk? Yes, he probably loves to play with chalk. And he threw it away because it just got too tiny. He couldn't use it anymore. Evan loves to play with chalk. So the next thing I want to show you is I put the link for the Brain Pop Make Inferences. So you can go after you watch my lesson, you can go and watch the Brain Pop for making an inference. Okay, next what we're going to do, here's going to be your activity. Your job this week, you're going to make some inferences about me. Where do you think you're going to get the objects? From my trash can. So I pulled a couple of things out of my trash can. This is the sheet that you have linked in your assignment for this week. You can print this out or you can just do on your own, just like this. Inferring about Miss Crosby, object, what it tells me, list the 3 things, which we're going to do together. And then you're going to tell me, use your schema to write down here on this side, right here, what it tells you about me. So the first object is a hairband. One is a hairband. So I want you thinking, what do you know about hairbands? What do you know about me? And what does that tell you about me? Why is this hairband in my trash can? Why do I have a hairband? The next thing is some kitten food. Why do you think? What do you know about kitten food? And what do you know about Miss Crosby? What does that tell you? Why do I have kitten food in my trash can? You're going to write your inference, why I have kitten food in my trash can. And the last thing is a makeup brush. Number 3, a makeup brush. What do you know about that object? Makeup brush. What do you know about me? And what inference can you make for why I have a makeup brush? So this is a fun activity. I wrote the objects for you. You are going to write 1, 2, 3, and you're going to write the inference that you made for each of these objects. These are your clues. Use the schema that you know about those objects and you know about me to make an inference for why I have them. One more thing I want to show you, I want to talk to you about. So not only are we doing the trash can fun inferencing game, we talked about we make inferences all the time when we read. It is so important to use those clues in your schema to be able to make the inference in your books, because then you can understand the story better and you know what's happening in the story. The author doesn't always tell you everything. I have listed 2 books for you. These are 2 of my favorite books that I'm sad we did not get to read. 2 books for you in the graded assignment column. The first book, my absolute favorite, is called 2 Bad Ants. I want you to read that book, and I've linked, I think it's a YouTube link. I have linked it on there for you. I want you to read 2 Bad Ants. And throughout the story, you're going to have to make some inferences. You're going to stop and you're going to ask yourself, when you come to certain parts in the story, questions that I want you answering, your inferences you're going to be making are, what are the crystals? What is the scoop? in what is the big brown lake? Those questions are in the assignment part, so you don't have to remember those. But I want you to find those answers. You can make a video recording yourself answering those questions and post it on Seesaw. The second book that I want you to look at is called Enemy Pie. I can't remember if we got to read this at the beginning of the year, but it's another one of my favorite books. Enemy Pie. It's also linked in the assignment part. Here are the questions, the inferences you're going to be making. Because the author doesn't tell you these things. The author doesn't tell you what is in the enemy pie. I want you to make an inference when you finish reading. What is in that enemy pie? And then, how did the enemy pie work? You're going to be able to infer, to make those inferences by the end of those books when you finish reading them or finish watching them. They're both on, one is on YouTube, and then Enemy Pie is actually on Tumble Books, and I have linked that for you guys. I can't wait to see your assignments, your trash can inferring assignments, and see what you can infer about me. And then also go ahead and send me a video after you read those 2 books so we can practice throughout the week making more inferences in books. All right, guys, happy reading.